Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the GallowgateShots YouTube channel. A spontaneous live video for everybody. And I'm pretty sure everybody's probably guessed already what it's going to be about. I am your host tonight, Chris, joined by Scott, Joe, and Ian. And as you can tell by all of our faces, we are absolutely buzzing with the video, which was leaked earlier tonight. The club have now released it in higher definition. And boys, how fantastic is that video? If you weren't excited already for the return of Adidas and the new kit launch, that has probably sent your temperature through the roof, and it's probably got you giving all warm sensations everywhere on your body. Joe, looking at your face, you're probably the most excited out of everybody. And that video was
I've just got goosebumps, man. I've just got absolute goosebumps. I wasn't expecting it. I mean, things got leaked over the last, maybe hour and a half, and I'd be surprised if the club were planning on releasing that video tonight at 9:15. I imagine that was part of their plan for tomorrow morning, but alas, with the leaks, I think they felt like their hand was a little bit forced. However, it just gets you that more excited for tomorrow morning, and well played. That's all I can say. Well played.
Yeah, certainly so. Massively well done. Like a bit ahead of the curve on this one. A little bit ahead of the curve. But who cares? Who cares? It's out there. Scott, the video is absolutely amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's. Do you know what? I think I've said this for a couple of things, but there's not a lot of stuff makes me homesick. And then watching that, I just think, do you know what it is? Like this time last year, I was coming home for the Sam Fender gig, and I didn't want to miss that. And obviously, the new kit came out this time last year, and I didn't get the new kit because it sold out. And then this has come out, and I'm just thinking, I just want to be home to be around the stadium, because I think it's just going to be, I don't know, it's weird. New kit releases, town gets buzzing. You see people walking around in the new kit, and you just think, oh, it's new kit release week, month, whatever. Oh, Ian's gone. It's just such a nice, it's just a nice time to be around Newcastle. And yeah, I mean, I'm hoping with the announcement of JD in Europe, they mentioned Europe quite a lot, that I'm going to be able to go into town and actually pick up a kit myself. I mean, I'm probably going to order one online, but I might do a sneaky little video on TikTok or something forward to see if I can go into a shop and actually touch and feel a top in a shop in Amsterdam, because I haven't been able to do that for 7 years. So I'm quite excited to be able to just do that.
It's amazing. It's such a shame, Ian, that the club shop isn't ready after the renovations, which is getting with the arrival of Adidas. That container unit is going to be an absolute sweat box tomorrow. I tell you that. From 9 o'clock onwards, it is going to be a sweat box, and the queues, I think everybody will be in agreement, the queues will be round the corner. In fact, they'll be in my house in South Shields, the queues.
Oh, 100%. If anything like last year was to go by, you've seen the people queuing that went from the club shop down past sort of the Strawberry. I think with it being the return of Adidas, I think like you'll probably get maybe, for instance, the likes of my dad, who never really buys Newcastle kits, but he grew up sort of buying all the Adidas stuff like this and the burgundy stuff, and you'll probably have that older generation that want to go back and buy kits or training gear or jackets or whatever. So I would fully expect probably the people that work there the hardest 48 hours of their lives. Like even if they go into the army or become prime minister, tomorrow and this weekend will be the hardest they'll ever work.
Do you know what it is? I've worked in Apple stores when new iPhones come out, and they are the hardest 48 hours of retail life that I've ever experienced. I think tomorrow working in that little container shop will be even harder than that.
It's going to be carnage. It's going to be carnage.
It's going to be absolute carnage.
It's going to be absolutely
they're well prepared, and I hope they've got a lot of stock. And I really hope people going into those shops, if they do run out of sizes and they do, run out of specific stock or specific things, people just remember that the people working in those shops, it's not their fault, and don't take it out on them, because They're just there making a living. Like, don't have a go at them. They're just there, like, just working a 9 to 5, whatever. It's not their problem. Just remember that, because like, however, they're just working in a shop. It's not their problem.
If those that were watching live haven't already seen the video, we do have the video ready to play. There won't be any audio on it for obvious reasons, because we'll probably get done for that. So there's no audio on it. We are going to go through the video, and Scott's going to stop it at certain points of that video, and we're going to have a little bit of a chat to see what's happening, because there's some flashback moments which have been highlighted in the video. That there's some cult hero photographs like Shola and like Isaac. They've absolutely nailed it. Adidas have absolutely nailed that promo video. I honestly, they couldn't have done any better with it. But shall we just get to it, boys, and play with it, and let's work our way through it.
Should we show the leaked images first? Should we show that?
Yes, let's start with the leaked image, even though we've already done that, Scott, months ago.
Well, we did. Well, do you know what it is? Yeah, we did. I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but I was really surprised at how long it took an actual image of the kit to actually not only just get released from the club, but to get
like an official photo being released.
Because if you go on footy headlines, right? Like even today, right? You go on footy headlines and you look at Man U's kits. All 3 kits have been on there for weeks, and their kits don't come out till the beginning of July, middle of July. There's not a single image of our kits on that side. I mean, there might be now. They've probably got these images up there, but here's the home top. I mean, stop me if you've seen this before. But here's the home top. Obviously, the collar is slightly different, but this is the pro version. And shout out to NUFC Will 1892. Yeah. We do cite our sources on like other channels, just not to have a dig. But there you go. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what we had on our video a few weeks ago, Chris, or a few months ago it was now. So there's the front. And we do have the other version with the different color. Will did put that up as well. So again, shout out to Will for that. But it's what we were expecting. Black and white.
Yeah. Let's have a bit of a conversation about the back of it though, Scott. Because the back of it.
Here's the back.
So if we flash back to the video which we did, we were pretty certain there was going to be something on the top of the collar. We weren't exactly sure what it was going to be. And you had just took a random stab in the dark, really, and just try to think, well, it's the same shape. It's a circle. It's got a magpie, and it has to be the old crest. We weren't sure if it was going to be a full detailed and full collar crest, but almost nailed it there, like.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see in the video they do a close up, and it's the old crest. It's a bit monochrome, but it is the old crest. It's got the castle in it. It looks like it's got the wavy water in. But yeah, I kind of put that in to throw people off where we got our leak from, because we didn't want to get anyone into trouble.
Good job with that.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if the club saw that and thought, hey, do you know what? That's a good idea.
We'll
use that. And we'll chuck it on, because we did get contacted by somebody else after that video, and they were kind of like, oh yeah, no, it's just a circle with Newcastle United away the lads in a circle. So maybe that changed. We don't know. But yeah, I mean, from what we got on, I don't even think we've got those images up here still. But
doesn't matter, Scott. Let's get to the video. I want the video again. Let's do it.
I'll just quickly show the other version, the different color, because obviously there's the other color. Obviously, this is a small version of that kit. I'm assuming this is one of the women's players. And apologies, I don't know the women's team too well, but
it won't be able to be a model. I would have thought. I don't think there's been any.
No, that is.
Is it?
I think I want to say Jasmine McQuaid.
There you go.
I just thought it was a JD model. Sorry, everybody.
There we go. But yeah, so obviously the color is very different on the replica version, and the badge is stitched on the replica version, and it is a print. Although when we look at the video, it seems like a very high quality press print.
Well, has there been any photos of the men's team in the kit yet? I've not seen those leaked yet.
No. I think, is there anything in the video? Maybe
I think there might be little snippets.
I don't remember. Well, we'll soon find out.
And the difference is, if you see the collar on the back goes all the way across, where on the pro version it splits, and there's a reason for that. If you actually see, I did a tweet about there's something built into the back of the collar on the pro versions. There's like 4 stripes.
I hope it's a credit card. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I hope it is. Yeah, because I'm going to be skint as well. But yeah, let's get into the video. How do I do this? Hang on, bear with us because I'm learning this.
Like I said, for those that are just joining in now,
yes.
it is just going to be the video. We can't play the audio for
Yeah.
obvious reasons. But speaking of the audio as well, how great was that soundtrack over the top?
It's like an episode
Yeah,
of
Game of Thrones,
isn't
yes, man, that one it.
Mm.
Aye. Maybe want to go.
Yeah,
Honestly, man, I'm ready to get into war after that.
I'm going to hit play and let us know in the comments below what you think as well. If someone, I can't view the comments, but if someone else wants to keep an eye on the comments while we're watching this. So it starts obviously with a pan and shot, and it's it's someone's. Is it by one of the lighthouses? And you see the back of the kit. Obviously,
I think that's just by the fish key. I think it's right near the fish key.
By
There.
the fish key.
Aye.
So there's my first shot, and as you can see, I mean, this is a black and white video, so I don't know how monochrome this actually is, but yeah, as we were talking about earlier, Chris, I just took a shot in the dark with what was going to be on there because the image we had was so low quality, it just looked like a black circle with a magpie in it. But there we have it. There is the old, is it 70s to 80s?
Nice little touch,
crest,
isn't it?
Which is a really nice touch on the back, and it's a bit lower down on the replica version because the collar goes all the way through, but it's nicer incorporating that.
That's slightly different. Yeah, I actually think I think stuff like this is going to obviously encourage a lot more people to buy the authentic version over the replica. I know it's a bit more expensive, but
it's about
I think when people see that, just little details, and it's not, when you think in the grand scheme of things, it's not too much difference. And I mean, I've never been one to buy the pro shirts in the past, but you know,
it might be the selling point, isn't it?
Do you know what I was in the Adidas store in Amsterdam 3 weeks ago, looking at the shop because they've got all the European the European national kits in. There's not that much difference in the sizing. It's not like Castor where you've got to be built like
that.
The Rock to wear one.
It's like
they're
painted
actually
on.
fairly decent, and they do actually go up to like 3-4 XL as well. So for us big lads,
good for the fat lads.
But this is
that just depends on the team though. Some teams they don't. There was some teams that is actually 2XL.
One thing that's interesting though is that they only go up to 3XL, and people are going to say, well, Castor went up to 5, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Adidas's 3XL is even bigger than Castor's 5 or something.
Yeah,
if you look at the actual,
you would have thought so, yeah. Because
I was
Castor's
thinking
XL was
I'm
like
going to
a
need a large
4 to 5.
So all the big lads, don't worry, you're going to be sorted.
So there is a question from Blue Rhythm Boy here. Will they do long sleeved? And that's one of the unknown things that we don't know. If you look at Arsenal, they do long sleeved in the replica, but not in the pro version. But if you look at Real Madrid, who released yesterday, they do long sleeved in both versions. So we'll probably have to find that out tomorrow. Honest. We will find out tomorrow. Dan Whitten, Adidas will surely be shipping internationally. They have websites for every country, Dan. So yes, they will ship to pretty much any country. So I know
with you being a regular shopper with Adidas, Scott, pricing, would that be the same? Because I know previously you with Castor used to sometimes get it cheaper on the Castor site than what you would be on the club site, and vice versa. Is that something else we're just gonna have to see what happens?
So I was doing a little bit of research on that as well. I looked at the Man U training gear, which launched on Monday. It was actually cheaper on the Adidas shop for some things than it was on the Man U store. By a $5, not much. And then on other things, it was a $5 more expensive. So it depends.
And the club have already announced that it's £5 of every shirt which is purchased through the club website is being donated back to the Newcastle United Foundation, if I remember right.
Yeah,
it's £5.
That's right. One thing I'd say about that is on the Newcastle club shop site, for me, living in Amsterdam, it says at the moment, I've got to spend €210 to get free delivery. However, last week that was €70. So I think that might have just been because they took the site down. That might have changed, but anyway.
Given the range that they've brung out, though, you'll not struggle to spend that money.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. The other thing with that, if you're on the Adidas site and you've been buying from Adidas in the past and you've got Adi Club points and you've got levels, if you're level 3 or above, you will be able to get free personalization on the tops. So that's name, number, and Premier League badge on the sleeve.
That's on 5.
That's that's more 5, and that's on as many tops as you want. I tried that last week with the Arsenal tops. I did about 6 shirts, all personalization in the cart,
I think
and
you
they
can do
were
up to
all
10.
free.
It's up
Is
to
it up to
10, I
10?
think. Yeah, I
Per
read
order?
on the website it's up to 10, but yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll
Right.
keep going with this video.
Should we crack on with this
Got
then?
a bit sidetracked.
Oh,
So yeah, so there's the crest on the back. So there's a nice little sweeping shot of the Time Bridge, and there's the crest. So this again is on the Pro version of the top, so it's not stitched. There were some leaks last week. The Pro version will be this. It's not a patch like what we saw on Puma. This looks to have a bit of texture to it, if I am
It's
being
like a
honest.
panel. It's like a panel.
It
We used to
is.
have those in the 90s. It used to be
Yeah.
like a panel on it with
like
the
Asics and stuff.
It's like Asics kits used to have like a little like a bubble, like wasn't
Like
it
a 3D
really?
bubble, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
if you look at
there was a
Arsenal's
leak
and
last week that said
Fortress,
the replica version will be a stitched badge. So if you buy ironically, the cheaper version of the top will have a
A
stitched
better
badge.
quality badge.
It was the same
Well,
last year.
same with
It was the same
Castor
last year.
ones.
Yeah, same with Castor, wasn't it? When we saw with
Yeah.
the 3, was it 3 T's or 6
But-
T's or how many T's?
Hang
And
on,
before we
can
go any
just confirm in
further,
the video?
there's currently
That's an INFP.
1,500 people watching this video. Please
Wow.
like the video. Please go and like the video before we go any further. Thanks, everybody. So yes, we've got the Newcastle crest, and then we've got
The
this
best.
is Alexander
my
Isak, and we all
favorite
know
part
what
of
he's
the video.
doing.
You know, it's my favorite part of the video.
He's walking his dog, so let's just watch him walk his dog. And he's in a very nice Adidas puffer jacket with a Newcastle badge on. That'll be about 180 quid, judging off other people's other clubs' coats. And he's also in some Newcastle pants and a Newcastle jacket, which they're pretty template. They're the same as other clubs, but we don't know the colours. That's obviously the thing with that. And yeah, as Dan's saying there, it's very Arsene Wenger style, but obviously without the dog. Then we're in a barber shop. And there's some familiar faces in this. I don't know everybody, but there's some familiar faces from social media and some Joe Linton shirts. And
it's Dylan.
it's Dylan, isn't it?
He's probably pals, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then that is probably the shot of the video.
Lads.
If I'm being honest with you.
I told you about this a couple of weeks ago, didn't I? That I had been doing a photo shoot in the Berry, and it looks like there's a couple of things. Is the snooker which we're going to come up with? Sorry, the game of pool, is that in the Berry as well? I couldn't figure it out from the photos. I don't think it is, to be fair.
It looks
No,
a bit
it's
too big
not.
to be in the
Looks
Berry.
like
I've
the
never
Berry.
seen a room that size in the Berry.
Does I?
But this was one of the leaked images we saw earlier on, which we do have in the StreamYard. But this is one of the training tops. I don't think this is for the staff though, judging by the other images on the website. So we may not see this on Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall actually on the sideline. But we'll see. We'll see what it gets released tomorrow. But obviously in the white, it's quite nice. I do like that. We have seen this in burgundy as well. Which is also really nice.
Covered in absolute dinner medals, that like.
Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare to keep cleaning the white, isn't it? But
I love it though. Absolutely.
It's also it's got a bit of grey
flashback.
on it. Yeah, it is a bit of a flashback, isn't it? But we'll move on. Yeah, people walking over the bridge. Obviously in the new top, which is a bit of
you can tell by
a view of the top. I'm surprised that we're able to get this shot, given how public this view is.
I was thinking that. I'm
surprised nobody snapped that shot.
Because wasn't curtains on either side.
That is the Western bypass, right? That's over Manners.
No, I think it was over. Was it not Biker? Was that a Biker wall in the background? I don't think there's a bridge like that near Biker Lake, but it looked like Biker wall in the background.
Because isn't that heading towards where? I can't remember the name of it now. Because that's the Manners Metro, is like literally just down here, right behind them.
It could be, mate.
I might be wrong.
It could well be.
Anyways, we'll move on. And yeah, I think this is the shot that got a lot of people excited. Because there's a jumper here, which is very much a bit of the style of what Ian's wearing, but also to the old green and white one, which I have as well, the training gear. You've got the Trefoil logo, you've got the Newcastle logo, and then you've got, if you have a look at the Germany and Italy gear they've just released, the retro stuff, you'll get a good understanding of what this is. But this is the Anthony Gordon wearing a t-shirt of it. There's a jumper of it here. and this is downburn, so you kind of tell whether this is a jumper or a t-shirt or if it's 3/4 length because he's that tall. But yeah, there's a few different variations of things here. There's also some trousers, which Adam I think pointed out in our WhatsApp group, which look pretty good as well. You get a bit of close up. I'll try and pause it. There you go.
Now this has got me going. It's this
yeah,
shot
this t-shirt
right
is
here.
pretty nice. I put a tweet out, I think last week going. I put a tweet out last week going. I don't know who from Adidas Football needs to see this, but all we want is this released. And I posted pictures of the Italy and the Germany kit of this version. So yeah, obviously they've already had it planned and released, but I'm happy. I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm not taking no credit for this, but yeah, there you go. It's
T-shirt
Jacob Murphy as well. And that looks like a different variation of it because this is obviously black. This one here, and then this one looks. I think
it's like a nice oversized, isn't it?
Of a teal. I mean, it could just be that she's really small. This lass. It could be that they only had certain sizes available and they just handed them out for the. Because it's not oversized on Jacob Murphy here. If you notice, he's wearing the same one.
True.
They may have just had certain sizes available for the shirt.
Fashion, Scott. That's what it is.
But it's also it's also oversized, so we'll see. And that's looks like a hoodie as well in the background here. Again, these are probably extras, but also probably some of the women's football teams. So I'm sorry if I'm missing out some of the women's players. I don't get to see much of the coverage over here, so I don't know if I am or I'm not missing anyone out. So I do apologize on that. And then this.
Now, what is
as people
this?
are saying, what is he wearing?
Who is he?
Is he a rapper? Yes, he's always getting the selfies in the ground and that. He follows us on Instagram. He's called. What's it called?
Is it someone's put it in here? Is it Cassie Dad?
Cassis Dead or something like that. That's the one.
Cassis Dead. There we are.
Yeah, so he's a Newcastle fan. He's always at St James's Park and corporate and things like that. But this has got me thinking, what is this? Because is it like sort of how we've had member shirts and things like that in previously? But this looks smart. This I'll
tell you what. In the core proceedings,
it looks quite similar to the Castor one.
Oh, you used to jumping over the top. You must be both lagging. What were you saying, Joe?
I was just saying in the core proceedings with Mike, actually a couple of months ago, they did mention that there's going to be a limited edition shirt on top of the 3 that we already have. So that might be it.
What were you saying?
Saying it looks quite similar to the Castor members one. I think, the one that was the giant number 4.
Yeah.
But they released the members version without the sponsor. Look fairly similar to that, but obviously with the Adidas on.
I'm intrigued to see that.
So the crest on this looks like the old Asics crest. You were talking earlier, Chris, about how the Asics crests had that print on
the bubble on it. Yeah,
it looks a bit like that. I mean, obviously it's a video; you can very rarely tell, but we do have the trefoil on there. I know we talked about the third kit in that video that we did. The collar looks very much like what we're expecting for the third kit. I'm not saying this is the third kit. I don't think it is because it doesn't have the stripe down the middle. We're not expecting that, but yeah, it's very intriguing. That it looks very 80s. Looks very,
just
very
about
80s,
to say that very German 80s.
Yeah,
it's interesting how this gets probably the least amount of time out of every single thing that they show. It's literally in it for about a second.
Yeah,
it really is.
Just teasing us, man. That's what they're doing.
I also probably want to say I don't expect all of this to be out tomorrow. I probably expect maybe 3 or 4 training stuff and maybe the Newcastle.
I don't think they could physically release it all tomorrow.
Fit in the shop,
probably one in the shop, and even online. I think online the demand is going to be ridiculous online. And you know what it is? I think this is probably going to be the first year in a long time where people have gone directly for the training gear rather than the likes of the official match day shirts and things like that. Because personally, I know I'll just be heading straight towards that one which Anthony Gordon was wearing, going. Get in my basket because it's
if it releases, if it comes out tomorrow. The other thing as well, you've got to think as well. I mean, for some people, is cost. If you're looking at 80 quid for a top, or it's only going to be 50 quid for a training top, people might think, do you know what? I can only get the training top at the minute, and I'll wait for the kit to come down in price a little bit.
Plus, man, like people have been crying out for all this retro stuff for absolutely years. I mean,
Yeah.
you see how much the 90 stuff goes for. This is currently the closest thing that we've got, and it's that hark back. So, yeah, I mean, people we will see that and think, I can wear that any day of the week, you know, for any occasion, really. Not maybe not a wedding or a christening. I don't know. Actually, some people will. I might, but no, I think people. You say people look at that and just think.
Oh, there's our other iconic shot. Shola on a bike, eating an apple, in a white training hoodie, which again we saw leaks of. I think we saw Tino Livramento in this in a picture. We've got that, which we can show later on. But yeah, that's another nice one. And again, the trousers, I think we saw. I don't think we saw that leaked. I think Mark took a photo of those trousers and put it in our WhatsApp group as he was walking past the stadium. There was a member of staff wearing those, which we saw. But yeah, shoulder on a bike and then surrounded by kids. I don't think there's any. Let's go back a little bit. There's no one else wearing Newcastle gear in there. They're just in Adidas gear. It's just Shola. But yeah, even that hoodie's quite nice, to be honest. Just
it is
quite plain, white with black. But again, the white is going to be so hard to keep clean.
The ball do that, yeah.
Yeah, get your vanish powder out to keep that nice and white.
Aye. This next shot did give me goosebumps though.
Yeah, there's Shearer looking at Bobby, and then Shearer. I can't remember what he says. I don't have the sound on, and then you get a couple of clips.
History lesson.
Yeah,
that was it. How many times you watched that, Joe?
Yeah, how many times have you watched that, Joe? Can you
40.
Can you recite it? So that I think this was shot a long time ago because I remember seeing the photo shoot of Joe Linton and Bruno wearing the old tops because I think wasn't Joe Linton in the old blue Adidas top, the one that clicked
with
just
like
by looking
gold.
at it. Yeah, the blue and gold.
Yeah.
Bruno in one of the old NTL tops, or maybe it's in the blue and green with a stripe down.
Joe Linton was in the
and then
blue
you've got
green
this. Once you see the chanting that on the, where's it gone? I'm trying to get to it again. Yeah, here we go. They're marching down just in front of the berry, aren't they?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's where Decker said they had like
so the black sheet
screens
was,
up. Yeah, the black sheets. Yeah,
which is no surprise because they're wearing the top. So again, in quite a public place, they don't want people seeing. But again, there's a better look at the collar. They're looking, the collar of the.
That's a replica one.
The replica one, yeah. So there is a difference in the collar, and it's
these
a bigger
not been added on
version
afterwards. By the way, have these people not been added afterwards? Because I think they might have done.
It seems like
two people.
Superimposed. Actually, now you come to say that
they've been added in afterwards because Scott actually seen it when they were recording it, and he was saying there's no new shirts here whatsoever. There's a group of people and they had that screen in front of them. So I think it's just what you got. I think they've been added afterwards, which it's obvious they've done that. They're not going to have three people walking down that back lane wearing the Newcastle shirt because that was about 3 weeks ago. It was before the end of the season, if I remember right.
That's a good shout. Actually, yeah. If you look, if you just go back, this guy is so much bigger than these two behind him.
Yeah. So, by the way, in this version, which is the official version, I think the bit on, so there's a bloke that's in the 90 shirt, the 96 shirt. I think he's cropped out of this one, but in the leaked version,
just
which seems to be a slightly wider, you can see him full tilt. So I think that might be the re-release, maybe. Who knows?
It's hard to say because there's someone behind in a 96 shirt. There's someone over here.
I know. They are supposed to be absolutely identical, so it would be hard to tell, wouldn't it?
I think the only kind of thing they had for this shirt was no Castor, please. It was just wear Adidas or wear non-brand like this one in the middle, obviously. But yeah, no Castor would be the thing for this. And I think from everything else, I don't think you get anything. Oh yeah, there's another view of the.
I mean, that's the official. That's the authentic one, isn't it?
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the collar on this Pro shirt? Because when I first saw it, I wasn't a fan. If I'm being honest,
I'll say that I found it quite weird that it just sort of stops and it's in between the two stripes. But if you look at the templates for the likes of Real Madrid and in Arsenal, I mean, it is a template and it's just how the designs worked, I think. So there's not really too much you can do with that. Having said that, I actually do prefer the authentic one to the replica one, just from first sight. Might change once I see him in real life, but yeah.
Is it just because it's a stripe, and because the stripe goes down the middle, it just looks a bit odd? Do you think that's the thing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the material looks quite good on the authentic one as well, and obviously you've got the badge on the back, and whatever this thing on the inside is as well, which we didn't really mention too much. We're sort of hinted at it, but there is something on the inside back of the authentic version. But yeah, I mean, I like it. I really.
If you look as well at the stripes on the authentic version, it looks like there's a gradient, like a contrast in both the black and the white ones. Whereas on the replica one, it just looks like a plain black and a plain white.
I think that's the material. Is it heat ready or something? They call it. So you've got heat ready and aero ready. It's just the actual material, and I think it's just the photo and the way the light's hitting it,
rather than an actual design.
Yeah, I think it'll just be the, if you look in just under the badge, you see how it's almost like a grid. It's just the breathability of the shirt, which actually might be better for the summer, to be honest. But again, it's a 30 quid difference. 80 to 110. So I mean, I think no matter which one you get, the tops are going to be a lot better breathability wise than the Castor ones. I think I've been quite vocal on these videos in the past by how bad the Castor shirts breathe. So yeah,
there's a lot of shouts as well. I'm not sure if you've seen it, because in our WhatsApp group there's a lot of links as well, where some of the training gear is already available online now. I think it's on the US site. I think the link was just that was sent across. There's a couple that are already available.
I think I don't know if that was an accident, but
so there we go.
But to wrap it, sorry, Ian.
I was going to say, do you think they've been so tight-lipped about releasing anything because of what happened with the Amazon documentary? So I was speaking to my barber, who was saying obviously JD's now our official seller of the top, and he was saying, like, the lad that he had in before has worked at JD, and he said that the tops were delivered with security. They were all in like black bags, and each member of staff had to sign a disclosure form saying that they weren't going to then leak photos online. I remember, I think it was the championship season, I worked at JD, and you just got told not to like share it with anyone, but you didn't have to sign anything official. But I genuinely reckon it's because of like they dropped the ball massively with the Amazon documentary.
I will say the money that's gone on with this deal as well, when you consider the jump from Castor to now, I mean, within that it's going to probably be high security, and also when you look at it, this isn't just any regular kit release, it's the start of return of an era that has been we've been desperate for nigh on, how was it, 12 years or something since we last had them. So I can completely understand why they were so tight-lipped about it, and they want to just release this all in one massive go. I mean, it's not just the shirts. You've got the big trainer ranges. You're going to have retro releases. It's going to be a whole shebang from the start. So yeah, I mean, I totally get it. And yeah, the Amazon documentary leak is probably massively on their minds as well.
And do you know what it is? I know I didn't hate Castor. I didn't, right? Because I thought a lot of the products and a lot of designs which the release were good designs. I quite like the majority of them. It's just obviously we had the issues with the delivery times and how long that took, and the errors which were in the stitching and the printing, and everything used to fall apart after a handful of washes. So it's good to see the back of that. But then I think it's because you've got such an established name in the business, in the sports business, with Adidas that have been around for decades upon decades. And obviously some of our only glory days, or we can class them as glory days, we're wearing these shirts and these branded shirts. And me as a kid growing up, Adidas was Newcastle United. It went hand in hand. It was like a marriage. So there'll be kids now that would never have seen this apart from on videos. And I know some people think, oh, ridiculous! It's only a merchandise provider coming in and taking back over the likes of the stock for the club. But it feels different. It really does. Yes, we might go and be playing these shirts, and we might be shite next season. But like, for this moment, just let us enjoy the return of such a huge sport and brand, and it's just another step on the Newcastle United journey, which we're heading down now, where the club are focusing in one direction, and the only way is up for us right now.
It's nostalgia and
It's almost like a
romance
level of
and
prestige as
nostalgia
well,
is-
isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, romance and nostalgia is very heavily linked within football. I mean, we don't go to the games just because we think it's 11 men or women kicking a ball about. It's everything that goes on with it. And like you say, there's history in it. There is prestige. There's everything that ties in. Yeah, growing up, it was Adidas, and yeah, so it is like you say, it is like a marriage. I think that's a really good way of summarizing it. But it's
I
nostalgia,
think the
and
other thing
it's bringing in this new
is-
era as well.
it's a massive difference to the club. I mean, you're going from £5 million a year to £40 million a year.
Right.
That's massive,
Plus.
no matter how you
Plus.
look at it. But 40 million
Off
plus,
sales.
yeah. I mean, you've got the sales.
That's
Like,
just off Decker.
I think I put a funny tweet out earlier. I was going, there was a story this morning about Sky saying that we may be forced to sell our players for PSR. After watching that video, you don't need to worry that we're going to be fined by Sunday. Don't worry about
absolutely smashed it,
PSR
mate.
and
Like,
FFP.
honestly, lads, they've absolutely smashed that release. Absolutely smashed it. To be so tight-lipped as well with any sort of leaked images going out, and I know obviously we done the templates, but there's been no official leak of the shirt and players wearing the shirt, and for that only leak to come just a handful of hours before the day of release is unbelievable that they've managed to do that.
And that was
I
always
will
going to
say-
happen because websites have to load their images onto somewhere. They have to get that ready, and what happens is people just run scripts on storage places on websites and pull those images down. It happens instantly. So, you can never keep things quiet that long, or a member of staff in a shop takes a photo with a phone, and that's, to get a leak, less or just over 12 hours before they're about to go on sale. That's probably as good as you'll ever get these days.
And I will say,
that's the best you'll ever get when it comes to a leak.
Yeah, I'm surprised, to be fair. I'm surprised that it wasn't that wasn't shown today anyway, just to get people even more hyped for going and buying tomorrow. So it's a leak, but it's not really a spoiler, is it? Because everyone's ready for the kit to be released and for everything.
I'm surprised they didn't announce it on Monday, have them on the website on Monday, and go pre-order these for Friday. If you look at Celtic put their website up. Was it last week? Here's the new kits. Pre-order them. They're out on the 11th of June. They're not out yet, but you can buy and pay for them, and they're ready to. You can go and put your credit card information on the website and get them ready to go, and they'll ship them to you. I'm surprised they haven't done any of that, but they want to build the excitement. They want to get people in and around the stadium. They want people in the shop. They want people to, maybe just get around the stadium because, you've got the seller event happening on Saturday. They just want to cause this massive buzz. And you know what? I don't even think they've needed to do that because
it's honestly
what's happened just off a few things on Twitter.
That was brilliant. By
mad.
the way, the seller thing on the Baltic was genius, absolute genius.
Well, they're doing a full show on Saturday.
It's going to be something on Saturday. Do you know the one thing I'm surprised nothing's happened yet? There's no Sam Fender. After all the Sam Fender stuff that they did, to announce the Adidas stuff, and to be fair, there was very little shown, but there seems there's a lot recorded.
It's coming.
No Sam Fender. I think something's going to happen with Sam Fender tomorrow.
We've got 2 more kits to go before August.
It's coming.
This is already just beginning, man.
Yeah. It is coming.
It's all over again.
Scott, I think because this has gone on probably longer than I think anybody was expecting. We'll leave the rest of the images because it is just the training gear, and people can see those available online. Yeah, you'll see it online. I think that the overall aim of this video tonight was just to get that buzz going, and fingers crossed we've managed to do that.
We've got 2,000 people watching on YouTube.
Almost 2,200 people watching throughout. So thanks for that one. Shall we wrap it up, boys? And we'll get some much needed sleep because I think tomorrow's going to be a busy day.
Hang on. How is anyone going to get any sleep?
True.
After what we've just seen.
And it's like Christmas, isn't it?
Playing that video over and over
it's
again.
Like Christmas. Thanks everybody who has joined us on this live video as well. It means a lot to us. If you do just want to like the video, honestly, it means more than you know, and it helps us out massively. Become a subscriber as well. Not long ago did we hit 11,000. We're now pushing for 12. So help us out there as well. And if you do like this sort of content as well, and you want to give an extra bit back, it is just $2.99 a month. I've got a feeling everybody probably will be skint and don't want to do that, but just an extra £3. Just send it our way if you don't mind, and it helps us out massively as well.
Shall I tell you what it does, Chris?
What does it do?
It helps put batteries in my clock. That's
It
what
does.
your membership goes towards. Batteries
It
in the
does.
clock.
It does. Thanks, boys. It's been a pleasure as always catching up with you guys, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.